You can just use it for when your bunker goes down. Or, not your bunker goes down, but one of your bunkers goes down. Another good thing about going through expansioning, going ahead and taking it and getting gas and minerals and all that good stuff, is not only do you open up windows to build more battle cruisers and more science vessels without having to resort straight to Marines, pumping out a bunch of Marines, you can get more energy for the orbital command center, which means you can call down more mules. So in a time of crisis, you can help repair the Odin even more, just instantaneously, because I don't like sending out SCVs with my Odin. It doesn't seem right, and I especially don't like failing right my Odin and go into battle right away. Make sure you cloak up the cloak so they don't die necessarily. If you notice the pattern, anything with cloak does great damage, is very, very weak, and usually pretty damn expensive, so make sure you use that cloak whenever you can. Also, when you put down a meal, make sure you send it on the Odin or at least auto repair. At the very least it will repair something in that army. But if you send it straight on the Odin, it'll probably heal like 100 hit points before it is inevitably torn to shreds and demolished. What you're seeing here is really the last push that the Odin will be in real danger, because the stance you take for a push-up was make the first phase or two really difficult, so you have a strong economy, and after you get that first phase or two, save, and steamroll and enjoy, like the advantage. One of the great things about this mission is if you go air, which I greatly advocate, mobility and reinforcing really isn't a problem. There are a lot of pathways and a lot of walls in this mission, and even rocks, which will hinder ground army. If you go ground, you're going to have to endure that, you're going to have to deal with it. However, if you go air, you don't really have to pay much attention to that at all. I also recommend going at least one armory to go ahead and get upgrades, because if you're like me, you're going heavy air, and heavy air can be benefited by upgrades. Also, if you go ahead, you don't have to deal with siege tanks, which are, in my opinion, one of the most annoying things to deal with in the world if you are on the offensive. One thing to take note of is that science vessels have bridge done. If they have energy, they're going to stand around what is weak. Even though only one of them can heal a target at one time, all of them will float around that one target until it's healed up. It's pretty annoying at times, so keep an eye on that, monitor it every so often. Also, I should note that queuing up like that is horrible. If you notice, I have, well, actually that's not too bad because those are wrapping up now. But if you have, let's say, 5 battle cruisers in the queue, that is 1,500 gas and 2,000 minerals that cannot be applied to anything else and just waiting to actually be of value to you. It's just idle minerals that have nothing, that can do nothing for you. So I would definitely advocate never queuing up beyond 1 or 2. And by 1 or 2, I mean like 1 active and the second, ready to go when that first one finishes up. Unless you're going into a big battle where taking your eyes off the battle would be a little irresponsible. Every so often, once you get to the point in the battle where you kind of view yourself as, alright, I'm on auto win, basically. He's not going to be able to turn the tide. You can go back to your base and handle all that stuff. However, up until that point, you really need to be paying attention to the battle, especially if it's a big battle with, let's say, 5,000 minerals worth of units on the field. You definitely want to make sure that doesn't, mess up. You want to make sure that is effective and you don't lose it. Also, another very good thing about taking that expansion in the top left is you will eventually run your main dry, so you definitely want something as a backup. In fact, doing a worker transfer earlier in the game wouldn't have been a bad idea at all. But at this point, definitely go back to the server Loki, or at idle point where I was talking about queuing, you should go to the Loki. I completely forgot about it, to be honest, but I'm very confident that I could have gone back and demolished it. Oh, no. Here's the point where you encounter the Loki. The Loki, actually, if you see that starport on the top right corner of the screen, it is just to the top and a little bit to the right of that. So you can definitely do that. I definitely have enough at this point to take out the Loki, however, I'm almost positive I go ahead and forget about it for whatever
Not
reason.
enough minerals.
I was distracted or something like that. But this army could demolish the Loki. Very confident with that. Interestingly, this is the name of a Nordic god. He is a shapeshifter, and he turns into a fly, a salmon, a seal, and an elderly woman. Yeah, that's it. So there you go. You learned something. Kind of like the Discovery Channel in here. But as you can see here, the battle cruisers are demolishing the Vikings. Now we get back to something more on topic. So at this point, you could definitely let the Odin mop up that 1, 2, 3, 4th base, and you could go straight for the shapeshifter kill. Everything's on fire. You can send in mules to go ahead and pick up any minerals you see on the ground, or if you have an SCV running about, you can take care of that as well. You could expand.
I can't wait to dig into that. Scientifically, I mean,
it's really so late in the game that it wouldn't benefit you that much. More insult to injury. In the top right corner, just a couple frames back, you saw that caution area with the green lighting. That would be the home of Loki, our shapeshifter friend, as I've said before.
Don't worry, old buddy.
Legally keep reiterating.
Some time to catch up.
At this point, unit production could stop. You definitely have more than you need to knock out the last base. If you're going for the Loki kill, you probably want to go ahead and make sure you have a few more units. It definitely won't hurt. Definitely save at this point, because, oh, look at that, a Viking is destroying me. How interesting. And a Raven comes to join, so all we have to deal with, I'd say, auto turrets. I'm moving in one of my siege tanks. You will definitely be able to handle that. They launch a 100 seeker missile. Oh, doesn't really hurt my siege tank that much. Okay, I'm wrong, it does hurt. But I completely have that Raven shut down. The best thing I could do would be to siege up that siege tank and then move. Oh, Marines are attacking my expansion here, so it is the revolt of the SCVs. Will we be able to handle that? Mules are apparently worthless in combat, which is kind of disappointing to know. But I guess you're not going to be able to see the end of the SCV revolt. Okay, you are. It doesn't work out. What you can do is, as I'm doing here, empty out your bunkers and go ahead and save that. Those SCVs, they really wanted to help, however, they are combat worthless, especially compared to so many Marines. It looks like our friend Tychus is finally done waiting for this mission, and you are going to go ahead and rock this base. One fun thing to know is you don't actually have to wipe out this base, because Odin has a special button. Ooh, here we go, Yamato Cannon does nothing. But anyways, the Odin, Odin might die, so definitely make sure you don't let him die, because that is counterproductive to the mission. But the Odin does have a special red button, and like all red buttons, it controls a nuke. So if you buy the staple That's Easy button, it's actually a nuclear detector, not detector, launcher. Those two are very, very different. But that's been the end of this commentary. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you do alright in your own reiteration of the mission. If you have any tips, comments, suggestions, or concerns, go ahead and email them off, and that should be it. I've been Tyler, and I hope you do well on your own campaign adventure. Take care.
Oh, baby, you're in for a world of pain.
Mineral field depleted.